Oh, whew, okay. Sorry about that late start. Well, late-ish. Ha! I changed some of my settings around. Hang on, let's go back to the, let's go to the talking screen, huh? Hello. Got some music going. Yeah, I changed some settings around, and I forgot to change them back. I need to do some tweets and stuff still, don't I? Let's do that while we chat for a minute, huh? How's that sound? Hey, Mr. Nobody, how you doing? What do we tweet now? Oh, excuse me. Scheduled. Tonight we explore. No, that's tomorrow's. Do I not have one scheduled for today? Or did it already go out? Did it go out last week? That'd be so funny. Did I seriously not schedule one? Hang on. I didn't schedule one for today. That's annoying. Okay, so what are we saying? Tonight, we explore the terrifying... Hang on, if I could type properly, that'd be great. Terrifying horror series, Oakburn Opus. And let me grab the link to this. Got the link. Tonight. Streaming now, exclamation mark. Do I have the... Hang on, do I even have the image for this that I made? The weird thing is about YouTube... oh, here it is. No, I already typed it out. Why am I... What is going on here? I already typed it out. Is this a different link? What is going on? Am I just crazy? It is a different link. How does that happen? Tonight, we dig into the acclaimed analog horror series Oakburn Opus. What terrors lurk in the snow? That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, for some reason, YouTube posts. You know how you can do like the post? Oh, Jesus Christ, what was that? That's loud. They only accept, like, you can use images that aren't square, but they just cut it down to like a square. It's very weird. It's very odd that they do that. So I usually make square images for it, but I forgot to make one for this. Or I did make one, but I didn't... I made it on my laptop, and I'm on my main PC, and I didn't send it to my main PC, so I'll just use whatever one we've got. Okay, now I need a tweet as well. Tonight, we dig into the acclaimed analog horror series Oakburn Opus. You got to type like that, I think. I think it helps, to be honest. Sorry guys, I'm focusing on this. I just, because I only realized that my settings are all messed up last minute, so I'm sort of doing this last minute, and I should have done this before. I was playing, I was recording stuff for the next video that I'm working on, because I have finished the Fear and Hunger video that I was working on. So that's all completely done. I'm just waiting for approval on something for my ad guys, because the video got a sponsor. So just waiting on approval for that, because basically whenever you get a sponsor, the sponsor will basically... Well, the way it works with me is that I've got some guys that get the sponsorships for me, and then they'll come to me and they'll go like, hey, we've got this lined up, do you want it? And I'll say yes or no, like, because I have knocked back a few, because I'm like, well, that doesn't, you know, it's... I won't say what, obviously, but, you know, some things it's like, well, that's not really suitable. I don't think it's suitable for my channel. They might, but I'm like, no, I don't think that'll fit. You know, I haven't, you know, no outright scams as far as I'm aware. But anyway, and then if I like it, they'll be like, okay, here's all the information, you know, here's the deal, here's your like discount code. Here's, you know, what you've got to say and whatnot. And the ones I've had have been really flexible. So they basically let me say what I want, and so I do. I do say what I want, and so I get some pretty crazy stuff. And every time I think there's no way they're gonna let me do this, and then they do, and it's like, okay, that's awesome. But you still have to. You basically do the however long it is, you know, 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You do the little video, and then you send it back to them, and they double check that it's all right. Just to make sure you're not, you know, breaking any of their like, because they do have explicit rules like, okay, don't mention the competitor, whatever, don't make the product look bad, etc. You know, things that every ad does, and so you got to send it back, so they make sure and they check it over, and that's what we're in the process of now. I sent the ad back to them, and yeah, just waiting on approval for that. So it'll be if all goes well, the video will be up on Monday. Yeah, Monday. I think I'll have to. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll post all about it when it's ready to go. But yeah, it's a fun process. I try to pick things that I know I find useful, or I think you guys will find useful. Like the ones I've done in the past, like I did Manscaped razors. I was like, fuck yeah, I need a good razor. You know, and it's a good razor. Like I still use the razor that Manscaped sent me. Like I've still got it, and it still goes great. And then the other one was the one I had this year was it's on the tip of my tongue. You know me, I forget names. It's Manta Sleep. Manta Sleep is the other one. And yeah, I have legit used sleep masks for years before they contacted me, and that's why I jumped on it, because I was like, I do wear sleep masks, so I do know I will actually be able to test if it's good or not. And they sent it to me, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And I still got that. Still got that one. Sorry, I'm still organizing these tweets. It's just there's lots of finicky, annoying stuff you got to do. So I haven't looked at chat for a minute. And oh, I need to post in the Discord too, don't I? What am I doing? Going live. That's the whole point of having the Discord, is that I can tell people when we're going live. At dog whistle. There we go. Notify. There we go. Okay. I think that's everything. Discord. Twitter. No. Hang on. I need to retweet my Twitter to my other account. Okay. Live now. There we go. Okay. Ooh. I think that's everything. See, I try to have all this stuff. It's good. You can organize quite a lot of this stuff before you start stream, but I just I got distracted, and then it was last minute I realized that I fucked up my OBS settings, so I had to fix it all up again. And that was a pain. That was actually a bit of a pain. It's kind of finicky. Once it's all up and running, then it's sort of, you don't have to worry about it, but it's like I won't have to go through this like tomorrow again or whatever. So. Lemon tea. Okay, so who's here? Hello, Pernicious Axolotl. Hello, Mr. Nobody. Hello, Sukatsuto CSSR. Hello, Grimes McMoose. No, Mama, you're my #1 streamer this year. Oh no, that's terrible. There we go. Loop Hero. I like Loop Hero. No, that's good. I'm honored. I'm honored that you guys seem to like what I'm doing. I'm still not sure about streaming. Like I like doing it, but I want to. Every time I do something, I want to do it the best I absolutely can. You know. And right now, I feel like I'm just sort of half-assing streaming. Yeah. I'm just here, and you know, it's fun just to hang out, but I feel like it could be better. And I don't know, but then I always get that mental thing where it's like, well, if I'm going to spend time improving my streams, I would rather just spend time working on a main channel video. You know, I think at the moment, I think I do just want to really focus on getting that up to par, because I'm still unhappy with, well, mostly how many videos I'm making. So, but we're working on that. I'm trying to do some shorter videos. I've got some ideas. Working internet, yeah, finally. It was shocking. Throughout the week, and I actually got an email. I got an email like a couple of hours ago, and it's like, yeah, your internet's going to go down this afternoon. And I was like, what? But then I looked at the actual website for like the provider, like the official government provider, and it's like, no, there's nothing happening. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Hello, Capitalist Heaven. Have you seen the new Godzilla analog horror, Godzilla Just Pray? No, I haven't. Let's open that up real quick. So it's called Godzilla Just Pray. Here we go. This one is very inspired by Angel Engine, I guess, and the other Godzilla ones. I don't know how I feel about using this much AI, to be honest. I think this is using a lot. Hang on, I'll pull it up on stream. 1 second. Let me just make sure. Browser capture. Are you actually capturing this? Thank you. Here we go. So here we go. Godzilla Just Pray. I think it feels like most of the art in this is AI, just from the quick flick through. You know. And look, I don't know. I am generally more forgiving of AI than most people. You know, like human face, right? Okay. You obviously don't want to use a real human's face for weird analog horror stuff. So using AI for that, that's fine. But like when it's heaps of the art and it's like, I don't know. You know, you don't have to be an amazing artist to make scary scenes, and I think you should embrace your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. So Mandela Catalog is a great example of this. He made it on a phone, and you know, he used the blur tool to make creepy faces, and I think that ended up being iconic in analog horror, right? So, hey Bonesy, how you doing? AI art reeks of third world poverty. God damn it. Hey Silverheart, how you doing? Hello. Ichihara Kazu, how we doing? Not late? No, we're just starting. 8:38, you said. Most replayed. Here we go. That's 28. Oh. Like, you know, it's cool to have art like this, but it's like, well, you should learn how to draw it yourself or pay someone to do it. You know, that's a lot of those medieval monks just hand drew it themselves, and they couldn't draw, and they got such a unique look out of it. It would be better and more interesting if you did. You know, so yeah. If someone's using AI a lot, then I think it's a red flag. It doesn't instantly make it bad. So you can still tell a good story with AI, but if they're using AI, it's sort of it's a suggestion that they're probably not putting as much effort in as they should. It's a red flag, you know. Anyway. Yeah, like that was sort of my opinion when we watched Angel Engine as well. It was distinctive and it had some interesting moments, but it's like, yeah, you know, you could put more effort into this, and it would be better for it. So, had any good chocolate lately? Just generic stuff, really. I haven't. I've been trying to eat less. Because I've been sick a lot lately, so I thought, well, I better fix up my diet a bit. Sorry. But yeah, what are we talking about? Right, I wanted to say, I don't know if I said this publicly yet, but I was planning on making the next video. No, I'm not a human, based on the full release, and I should have done this months ago when it came out, but then I had a mental collapse, burnout. It's pretty bad. And I was going to do that after this Fear and Hunger lore video, but it turns out they have an update coming out soon. They actually have a big update, and I know this tends to happen with the games. Oh, there's a big update coming out soon. So I'm not going to work on that video yet until that update's out, because it's got a new ending. It has a new ending, which might change like the lore and whatnot. So I want to make sure, because there were some criticisms about the lore, how it felt a bit too reliant on other games that aren't out yet. So we'll see what the new ending actually adds. I don't know. I honestly got no idea. So actually got the game, was very happy with it. Which game was that? No, I'm Not Human. Well, I haven't made any Terminator content. I've been waiting for that update to be out. So yeah, it's look, Fear and Hunger content still does really well. I was a bit silly and I thought, well, it's going to die soon, and it just hasn't. You know, I didn't bet on it enough. And the video essays still do really well. So this one's gonna probably do pretty well. Like, look at this. This is just a post about it, and it's almost got 1,000 YouTube updates. You know, crazy. I think this art's pretty sick though. My friend Royce did pretty well. AI generated images is needed to make this sort of thing. Sadly, it is more often used for scams, false news, etc. I don't think it is needed to do it. I don't think it is. I think you need to embrace your weaknesses, and turn them into strengths. Generally speaking, I do like I said before. I do think there are some cases where it's acceptable, sometimes even good. But I don't think that Siri should rely so heavily on it. You know. Yeah, so after this next Fear and Hunger video, I have a couple of ideas. I might cover that game Routine that just came out, which looks sick. It's fucking awesome. So hyped for this. I don't know if it'll be a good game to... So that's the thing, right? You can have games that look awesome, but it's not really obvious whether or not it'll make a good video, you know? Like, this just looks so cool. It's got randomization elements in it. Not a huge amount, but it's there. And it's also got permadeath, which is going to be sick. So I'm pretty keen for that. I haven't played it yet because it like just came out. Like it was like today, or I guess 12 hours ago. There you go. So pretty keen for that. Depending on how long that takes to play, I might just do that after this, because I have an idea for another video that I'm working on that should be a pretty short one, and I kind of don't want to say what it is yet because it's weird. How much should I say? I try to be careful about. So there's a concept in art where if you talk too much about something, it gives your brain the same like dopamine chemical release as if you were actually working on it. So like if you have this cool idea, right, and you're talking to your mates and you're telling them all about it for like an hour, your brain gets the same chemical release as if you were working on it. Obviously that's really bad because it means you won't work on it. So I try to be careful with how much I say about what I'm working on. But also, you know, it might turn out that I work on this video idea and it turns out it's kind of shit. And then I don't want to promise people that I'm working on something and it's like, well, I'm actually not doing that now because it's a shit. It's just actually a shit idea. Plus, you know, it helps build hype. You know, I can do cool teaser images to build up hype, you know. I don't think I'll be hitting 100. I was hoping to hit 100k subscribers on my main channel this year, but I don't think that's going to happen. I hit 90. I'm pretty happy about that. Really happy about that, actually. I think it's because I had. I mean, I'm not exactly blaming beating myself up over it. I had a pretty fucked year, but you know, it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I get why, but it would have been nice. Next year will be the year. Almost that silver play button. Yeah, really close, really close. I think it's. I do believe it is inevitable unless I die. Fingers crossed. Touch wood. Because I'm in the groove. You know, I think I'm at a stage where, and it's difficult to get to this stage. I'm at a stage where if I just keep making the same videos, I will sort of slowly grow. But I put too much pressure on myself to keep making my videos better, and that sort of shuts my brain down sometimes. That's happened multiple times where I've stressed myself out because I feel like I need to make my videos better. And I don't want to settle for just making them the same thing over and over, right? And that's been bad. Sometimes I just need to, and the way I break out of it is just go, no, it's fine. You can just release a video and it's fine. Like this next video, this Allmere lore video that's coming out, I was really stressing myself out because I couldn't come up with. So I like having interesting visual styles in each video, make it a little different each time. So the biggest example of that is a Pocket Cat video. Hang on, let me pull it up. We'll go back to here. Hang on. Go back here. So this Pocket Cat video. So it starts, so it's like got the whole book theme, right? And that shows up throughout the whole thing. So we've got this part here where it's like, you know, telling the stories, and I had that awesome art by Jiro. Jiro did amazing art for this. So pleased with it. And so I tried to come up with like, you know, trying to bring up the book theme as much as possible because it's like, you know, he's a story. It's the whole thing with the living stories, right? And it's not the whole video. So most of the video is like my regular thing. Oh, there we go. Back to the drawings. the regular thing where it's like, you know, images fade on screen, whatnot. So I try to come up with some interesting visual thing for each video. And that's where I'll sometimes commission art or whatnot. Like, I love the intro to this Logic video. This is one of my favorite things.
Darkness. Giant gods leering down from above you, keenly watching your fight. They all know it's pointless. A brief clash and...
This was, Prications did that Lagarde art. It was so good.
Deep inside the white bunker, we stand before the monolith.
This part, I love this part.
A steel tower spewing out heat.
I try to pick...
When its shell cracks open.
So I try to pick an interesting song to build the introduction around and then come up with art for it. So I start with the music, and I usually just pick music from the game. Logic's music's so good. Such a good track. And then I line everything up with the music and try and pace it out that way. And I could not come up with something for... So I don't do it with every video, right? No, this is my favorite non-Fear and Hunger one, actually.
They say that once you enter the labyrinth of the Demon King, you can't ever leave. In Labyrinth of the Demon King, you must descend into the lair of the eponymous demon to take revenge for your fallen lord. What follows is a waking nightmare, a tour of the Japanese Buddhist hells and the unrelenting torments that lie within.
We shouldn't have put that in before 30 seconds, actually.
Japanese mythology.
Bit violent.
Just good games, then you must play it. Japanese religion has long been a syncretism of the native Shinto beliefs.
This part.
And a tool of divine punishment. Is it even possible to fight such a being? If its mission is divinely sanctioned, everything must end eventually. Pick up your sword, enter the castle, and descend into hell.
So before I started this video, I had this entire section in mind. I only made it right at the very end, though. I love it. I love it. I spent hours getting that right. Yeah, like I'll come up with like an idea like that of what I'm going to do for the intro, usually based on certain music from the game, and then come up with visuals and then use that as like a, you know, the introduction for the video. And I could not come up with something for this one. And that really stressed me out. It really stressed me out that I couldn't come up with one for this. And then after a while, I was like, well, just fucking make it. It's fine. It doesn't need it. Like, it's... I do have one. I do have one, but... It's not as good as that. This is Olmia. Actually, did some interesting effects. Can I show you? Hang on, I need to... I don't want to... I need to move the... No, we'll go back here, and then what I'll do is I'll make sure I can... Oh, no, I can't. I'm on the wrong account anyway, so we can't... I can't show you, sorry. We'll... You guys will just have to wait until Monday. I was going to show you the intro, but it's on my main channel, and I'm on my streaming one, so... Whoops. Anyway... Yeah, fun times. I had a lot of fun doing this one, though. It's really, really interesting. Really, it's all really obscure lore stuff being tied together in what I think is an interesting way. Because nobody's had, like, nobody's really talked about Bethel. Like, I think that's one of the weirdest things there's some things in the lore community that, like, people just don't talk about. Like, well, there's a question, like, how did Nilvan know how to make an ascended god? How the hell did she know that? And she did know it. Because she straight up tells you the last part of the plan. And it's like, what the hell? Like, she tells you how to get that ending. It's like, how the hell did she know that? And another thing is, like, Bethel. Like, what is the deal with Bethel? Like, his name is super ancient, and his books are super old. Like, so old that Enki can't read them, and he'd read Latin, which the books would have been written in at the time. And it's like, why did Ulmir leave this new god alive after his purge? Like, what is going on? And I try to answer those questions. So, yeah, interesting. It's interesting. The video is fun. And at the end, so what I've noticed is that sometimes when people watch those videos, they'll be at the end and they'll be like, I don't remember what happened. Because so much happens because it's like a really dense lore video, right? And people are like, so what's the takeaway from that? What is the one sentence wrap up of this whole thing? And so at the end of the video, I do a timeline. A new timeline based on that theory. And a new timeline, and then at the very, very end, I also do give like a couple of sentences like, yeah, this is what we talked about. Just to make sure people really remember. I think it helps. So. Oh, okay. How about we actually get into watching Oakburn Opus? It's been a half hour. We've been streaming for, half hour now. Oakburn Opus. I actually don't know much about this. And this is another dude who's like made what I've heard is a banger series, and he's like 19 years old. That happens a lot, actually. What is Oakburn Opus about? Hang on, let's find out. I need to do what is Oakburn Opus about? Me-Side was a fun game. I enjoyed it. Really cute. Have they had an update yet? I remember they're working on a big update. So I'm getting distracted. I'm gonna see if they actually had an update, and then we'll start watching. Steam, please open. Thank you. Oakburn Opus is a surreal. Oh, go away. Surreal, nightmarish digital horror series exploring the vanishing of the residents of old Oakburn. Okay. That's a good wrap up. Me-Side. Where did you find the news? Hang on. News. Announcements. Here we go. Kickstarter campaign for what? Oh, for a figure. Okay, I was going to say. What do you need a Kickstarter campaign for? The game's finished. Look at shitloads of merch. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Any updates? I don't remember any of their names. I like the one with the glasses though. Me-Side update 0.93L. What does that mean? Oh, that's right. They added voiceovers. God. No, thank you. No, thank you. Just fixes. Improvements. There was some drama with the Me-Side Discord. I think it got raided by people making very not good AI art, if you understand what I mean. Very not good. They're not like actually adding features. They must be working on like the next game or something. Yeah, there's no like. I thought they were working on like a massive, actual like real update, but it doesn't look like they have. Oh well. Yeah, fun game. Nobody liked my video about it, unfortunately, but that's okay. That happens. I released it too late, I think. What am I doing? Is it Miso, that one horror game where the horror is a woman who loves you? Yes, it is. It's terrifying. It's sickeningly terrifying. It's a woman who wants to stay with you forever. And look, frankly, I was surprised that we're allowed to release a game like that. But you know, this is the sick world we live in, I suppose. Okay, let's start. Let's get a better song. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's start recording. Say hello to YouTube, everybody, by the way. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Mythonics Live. Today, we are watching the analog horror series called Oakburn Opus, which is a surreal, nightmarish horror series which explores the vanishing of the residents of old Oakburn and how it connects to a mysterious, horned flutist. Now, as far as I'm aware, I've been made aware that this one is a visual feast. The visuals are apparently quite stunning, and I have flicked through it a little bit, and the parts I did see were quite impressive. So I'm pretty keen to actually dig into this one. So let's get straight into it. No, hang on, I need to fix that up, don't I? Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we're watching episode 1. Any description? No description. Just flashing images. Warning, flashing images, guys. Here we go. You ready? Lake Oakburn. 1997. Does have a nice warm. Hang on. Let's actually turn this up so we can watch, so we can see it, huh? Old Oakburn population vanishes overnight. It's got a nice texture to it, doesn't it? A lot of things. It's difficult to get the texture just right. Classified information from the Oakburn case is leaked by anonymous sources. That's what, like 30 years later or so? 25? A new light is shed on the case. Geez, this looks good, doesn't it? Which branches into countless theories, hypotheses, and discussions. Get my YouTuber voice on. Hang on. Let me sit up. Yeah. The following images are based on the manuscript's findings belonging to an anonymous inhabitant and a restored cassette tape depicting the phenomenon. Oakburn Opus, Part 1. This music's good. Is it loud enough? Ooh. Evidence 1. Oakburn's flutist. YouTube compression is kind of making this kind of shit. I would love to see if this is uploaded somewhere else, because it's sort of suffering a little bit from it. I guess not. It's not often you look at a series and go, I wish this was higher quality for an analog horror series. On a cold morning, the outsider stumbled upon our gates and quickly became a welcome guest through the sweet and captivating melody of his flute. My people brought him into our village, a secluded place, west of the Itosavik Mountains. We provided the flutist food, water, and shelter. And in return, the man continued to enchant our people with the tunes of the winds. Creepy. The children adored him, soothed by the melodic blow. Men and women respected him for the great entertainment and happiness provided by the black flute. To the more humble folk, the flutist was a gateway form of art. Is that what that says? Oh, wasn't that symbol on the monolith? It's like a quad force, like a triforce. See, look, it's a sketchy drawing, okay? Would this look better as an AI if you punch in AI and said, make me a nice looking drawing? Like, no, obviously it wouldn't. Like, it's fine. Like, you can, if you're not a good artist, that's fine. You can figure out ways to make it look good. You can try. You have to put that effort in. Okay. So the flutist puts that symbol in people's heads. Interesting. He hid them under the veil of reality. Impossible to breathe beyond existence. Keep looking. Do not follow the melody. Old Oakburn. Something's hidden gem. He adapted to our customs, ate and drank from our kitchen, hummed our chants and honoured our altars, without ever voicing a single thought. The flutist used the wind as his words and melodies as his speech. Within the wind, it hid Fang. Within the wind, it breached our spirit. Within the wind, the flute burned the veil. Evidence 1. Handwritten records, author unknown, recovered by Martha Astor, 2002. Evidence 2. The magnum opus. 1997, the great flutist of Old Oakburn announces the completion of his magnum opus. A presentation is set to happen Friday night at Lake Oakburn. Oh, hang on. That's a little fast, buddy. Hundreds of men, women, and children gather near the lake in anticipation. Audio of Oakburn's magnum opus, recovered by Martha Astor. Should we be listening to this? Probably not. What the hell? Identify. Interpret. Follow. The music. Identify, interpret, follow the music. Interesting. Holy shit, this is awesome. This is awesome. What the hell? So, analog and digital horror, you know, there's certain trends that people build upon and evolve over time, right? And the slideshow horror is you could probably call it in a more disparaging term. You know, where they sort of lay out the evidence and flick through slideshows, and here's a spooky image, and here's some text on screen now, and now we're going to play some spooky stuff. So the Painter does this quite a lot. Most of the Painter is slideshow horror, and there's a lot that do it, right? But that's an example that's a bit more fresh in our heads, and you can see how some people, there's still room for that to grow. Like, this is slideshow horror, but it's been awesome. It's been a really interesting way of showing it, you know. And there's real emphasis on music, which is great to see, because that's a bit of an underappreciated aspect of analog horror is the sound. A lot of people don't think about it much, but sound drives the emotion of every video, and so you should. It's to the point, since music seems to be the focus of this story, it wouldn't surprise me if the creator of this led music first. You know, hey Riley, how you doing? Saying hi before I go to bed. Have a good stream. Yeah, thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate it. How you doing, Rebel Wolf? Rebel Wolf. Silent Hill type of video. Yeah, it kind of has that vibe, doesn't it? That's fine though. Silent Hill is good horror. You know, I've actually never played a Silent Hill game. I really should sometime. I was going to play Silent Hill F, but then it was like over $100 Australian. It was like 120, and I was like, you are joking. I am not spending that much on a video game. It's not happening. Anyway. Oh, follow the music. Okay. This is cool. Like you're telling me you can't go out and take some pictures and edit them, spend a bit of time editing them to make art for your analog horror piece? You can do that. You can go out for a weekend and do that. What are we watching right now? We are watching Oakburn Opus, so the link will be down in the description there if you want to check it out. Games too pricey nowadays? They sure are, Axolotl. That was cool. Get out. That's awesome. So good. Oh, that's creepy. That's so creepy. What even is that? So I guess the magnum opus didn't go as well as people hoped it did. morning after, old Oakburn woke up to silence. 1,043 inhabitants disappeared overnight. After quick and inconclusive investigations, little evidence was found. The existence and whereabouts of the flutist remained an unanswered enigma. That was until 2003. Okay. The search for old Oakburn's population continues. Unfunny fact, that video loading circle thing is called a throbber, is it? What an awful name. Dreary, dreamlike, and disturbing. Well done, friend. That is true. That was great, actually. Next I did a video about this. I probably watched it then. I don't remember this at all, though. Flutist feels like a Soulsborne character. No, it doesn't. Don't be silly. Currently watching the coat guy from No, I'm Not a Human dump out a box of plastic babies onto the floor and blaming me for letting him. What? Ugh. What? I don't understand why people are so obsessed with... So there's a few characters in No, I'm Not a Human people are obsessed with. Coat guy is one of them. Another one is the foreign guy whose mouth is stitched shut. And it's like, these guys aren't attractive. Why do you like these guys? I could understand, like, the smiling man. Because, you know, people like... the girlies love the monsters, right? That's fine. Why those ones, though? I don't understand. He knows well his wicked ways. Some of the best audio design, yes. Wireface, yeah, Wireface. That one. He actually speaks his... Hang on, how is it done? I don't remember how it was done again, but you can actually translate all of his dialogue. And he's just a tourist who, like, came there to visit his friend and now he's leaving. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing interesting. He doesn't say anything interesting, which is the insane thing. I went to the trouble of finding all of his dialogue in the files and then decrypting it, and it's literally just him saying, oh yeah, I went to visit my friend and now this crazy stuff happened and now I'm trying to get back home. It's like, okay, nothing interesting. No. Georgian. I don't know anything about Georgia. I was going to say it makes sense, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know where Georgia is now you mention it. Anyway, let's keep watching. Oakburn Opus Part 2. Here we go. No subtitles, closed caption, so deal with it. Okay. Did I push play? Yes, I did. Same reason Link from Legend of Zelda is popular with fangirls. They want a decent-looking guy who doesn't talk. They're not handsome, though. They're not attractive in the slightest. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I just don't get it. I'm not someone who finds guys attractive, so I don't know. Maybe there's something about their reclusive natures, I guess. The mystery. Oh, I get. Maybe it's like the mystery. It's a mystery. (2003). They're so ugly. They're kind of cute. Now that I can understand. I can understand ugly cute. I can understand that. The Japanese actually have a term for it. Fuck, I'll never remember what it is. There's a few of them. I think it's like Busakawa is like ugly cute. Busukawai, rather. Busukawai. Yeah. I can understand that. You know what? When you put it that way, yeah, I get it. Not that I find them attractive, but I understand how someone could. 2003, 25 miles from Lake Oakburn, The Lebedev residence. Lebedev's a funny name. This is like in like Finland or something, right? Oh, fuck. How did that scare me? I stood upon their blood. I stood upon the weapon. I stood before the flute. And the drowned city arose beneath my feet. Oh, the vibes in this series, so good. The melody crawls in. The voice under the veil commands. And the vessel answers. What stands before you, Detective Astor, is not a person. I exist incarcerated in a vessel of the arcane. I will entertain your feeble sense of justice. I will share you my tale. See, look. He knows well his wicked ways. See, look, if you can't get a good voice actor because, you've got no budget or whatever, AI is an option. And I think that's acceptable. But you do have to be mindful that sometimes the AI is just going to make it sound dog shit. And at the end of the day, you need a better product. You need a better video. And this is a great way of doing it without having a voice actor. Someone like laughing, you can do a weird laugh into a microphone. You can do that pretty easily. And then just have the text on screen. And all the viewers know this is what's coming through the tape, even though they can't literally hear it. It's fine. You don't need a voice actor. There are ways around it. And it makes it creepier. This has got perfect vibes that I think it would be really difficult to capture it perfectly with a voice actor. So you can turn a weakness into a strength. Red Diamond presents. That's pretty good. You don't see title screens often in analog horror. Hard to do right, I think. December 10th. A call is made to the Itosovic Police Department from the Lebedev household. The caller confessed to having committed murder. Jackson and Oliver Lebedev were dead. Their bodies are lined in the dark room. Dark room, you say? The Lebedev brothers, naturalist photographers of Itosovic, searched to capture the empty landscape of the mountains. The criminal was never identified. For the convenience of the investigation, the killer will be addressed by the pseudonym John Doe. Evidence 3. The Lebedev murders. A timeline based on the interrogatory of John Doe, conducted and recorded by Detective Martha Astor, 2003. December 5th. John Doe is led by the melody of a wind instrument emanating from Lake Oakburn. If you heard like a flute, if you're walking around the woods and you heard a flute like that, would you walk towards it? I think I would, to be honest. Conditioning. I think I'd follow it. Creepy. From the very first moment the flute touched my mind, I was sure to have been struck by something otherworldly, roaming the depths of the lake. I think someone is doing Fae LARP and would want to watch. Exactly. Hopefully it's not an actual Fae. Near the lake, John Doe encounters a monolith. On the surface of the smooth rock, a symbol was carved. A circle and 9 triangles. I witnessed, in clear and inscrutable reason, the flute and the man. They taught me wisdom from the bottom of the lake, the drowned city, and the millions who rest there. He raised me in that instant as a vessel. The emblem etched upon the rock, the beautifully profane assortment of a circle and 9 triangles, suddenly gleamed in crimson hue. The song wove a web, his desire in an instant made clear. In the flute, I will discern the will of expansion which I was to provide. After the encounter, John wanders the mountain for 5 days, allegedly in a deranged state of mind. John comes across the Lebedev residence. Is that a crossbow? What a cool shot. Execution. It is common for many inhabitants of remote areas and hidden places to forget their front doors unlocked. A naive custom, often conditioned by the emptiness surrounding it. Hang on. Through the window I beheld his lichened shape. The spectre whispered, in evoking horror, his unfathomable name. Marv-Pias. That's kind of terrifying. He's huge. The visuals in this are immaculate. A name in the melody. Marv-Pias. And from the profane blade touched by Marv-Pias's fangs, I cut their eyes open in the dark room. 11:42. John Doe furtively strikes the Lebedev brothers. Jackson takes a pickaxe hit to the thigh, snapping the femur and is left debilitated. Oliver drags Jackson to the dark room at gunpoint and performing a suboptimal tourniquet. So John Doe hit one of them in the legs and made the other one perform a tourniquet and dragged him into the dark room at gunpoint. Anybody ever finish a smoking because damn all crazy horror content comes from Finland? It does. Oliver Lebedev. Time of death, 12 hours, 7 minutes. Oh. Got him with an axe, huh? What was that? Hang on. Oh, more blood. Okay. Jackson Leopard. Time of death, 12 hours, 16. That'd be awful seeing your brother murdered. He killed one with an axe and shot the other one twice. Did he shoot him? No, he couldn't have shot himself because he's like giving testimony. Wonder what this symbol means. Oh, Martha. The sole reason I stand before you, narrating my tale, contributing to your futile pursuit of a comprehensible truth, is to convey you his message. He calls you to the lake, your good friend beneath the veil. Visit the drowned city. Your failure to heed his warning will bring the same fate upon you and the few living folks you love. You will drown too. What's going on there? The visuals are so good in this. That's a body. What the hell? That's creepy. Spooky corner hours, yeah. Man, the vibes in this series so good. This is the sort of thing where you would half expect a person to like go on to make movies or something later on, like the person that did that one that I hated, Skinamarink. In defiance of John's alleged method of murder, the bodies of Jackson and Olivia were found in contradictory conditions. Oh, interesting. Agents at the scene first observed vascular marbling, skin discoloration, and bloating in both the bodies. They drowned? What the hell? An autopsy analysis revealed pulmonary injury, insinuating that drowning was the cause of death. What the hell? So he drowned. The bodies were drowned and left in the water for a while, and then dragged back into the house? Is this copyright music? This is kind of a bop. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. City under the water, drowning people is very Cthulhu-esque, isn't it? Hmm. Genuinely phenomenal work, huge inspiration. Why is it inspiration? You don't have any videos. It is analog horror. Yes, it is. It is analog horror. This is the next Twin Peaks, guys. Come on. Look, it's good, but don't gas the man up. Marv's hiding in the trees. Yes, it's obvious. People... First time I've ever gone, oh no, at a video. Yeah, this was a great scene. Like, you could do most of this by photo bashing. Just combining photos together and then, you know, crunching it down with low quality to make it give it the analog look, right? This is something you could... Obviously this guy is talented, but if you know, like I always say, if you just sit there and you grind at it, you know, maybe it's the only thing you work on for a little while is you work on this sort of stuff. It wouldn't take you that long to get to this level. So there's sort of two components there. There's like technical skill, so physically being able to do this, and then there's, you know, taste. To actually sit there and copy this wouldn't take that long. Even if you started from scratch, it really wouldn't. The music would be tougher, I think. I think the music would probably be tougher out of the rest of it. But like the video editing and the image stuff, probably not that long. Just to try to copy it. The taste and figuring out exactly what to make, that would take a while. To get that level of, you know, taste is something you just got to work at. You know, watch good horror stuff. Horror stuff that has great visual style. So like this, like this has real vibes that's similar. I keep thinking of Longlegs. That's what it's called, right? Longlegs. For some reason, this just really reminds me of Longlegs. Yeah, the one with Nick Cage, Nicolas Cage. So it's got really similar vibes to that, I think. And that's the hard part. Knowing exactly what to make and putting it all together in such a stylish piece of work is impressive. It's really impressive. You know, there are people who have skills that can make stuff way better than this, but don't have the taste for it, and so they don't. You know. Longlegs was a good one. Loved the concept. It was pretty interesting. Really interesting. I don't know how I felt about the story, how it developed, but it was a fun ride. I don't think the story was that... At the end, it was like... I was like, I kind of don't care. But the visuals and the way on the path there was pretty good. It was pretty good. So I did enjoy it, and I would recommend it to people if you like horror. Oh, how many episodes are there in Oakburn Opus? So 3, and then... Liars, I guess, is part 4. We'll watch the trailer after this too, yeah. Then there are places where it could have been better, but overall, it could... Exactly, yeah, it was. It was definitely worth watching if you like horror, I think. I think it's a good example of modern horror. The, you might call it like, what's that company called that did, oh my god, I'm forgetting all of the names. They did The Knight. No, The Green Knight. A24 horror, you might call it that. Maybe derisively, maybe not. But like Nope has similar vibes to this. Hereditary has similar vibes to this, right? It's that modern style of... Oh, they call it elevated horror, right? I hate that term, but that's what they call it. Cobweb is pretty good for modern horror too. It's surprised how that went. I haven't even heard of that one. I'll have to check that out. I don't watch a lot of Cobweb movie. I don't watch a lot of horror movies. I should probably watch more, to be honest. I did watch one called Memories of Murder. Well, no. Memories of Murder wasn't a horror. It was I watched that one right afterwards. It was called The Forgotten, I think it was. It's a Korean film. I watched that one recently. That was pretty good. Forgotten 2017. That was actually a real trip. Yeah, Forgotten 2017. That was such a trip, that one. A little bit sloppy. Like as in slop. But I liked it. Not definitely not like elevated horror. Korean horror is great. It's Korean movies. I do wonder if it's just a case of like we only get the best ones. But you know they've got a lot of good ones, so you know I'm not complaining. Memories of Murder is legitimately one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I looked it up afterwards, and everybody's like, "Yeah, this is like one of the top movies of all time." It's like, okay, that makes sense. Memories of Murder, awesome, loved it. Yeah, I can't. It's historical fiction, so it's based on a real serial killer case where they never actually caught the. At the time the movie was released, they hadn't caught the killer, and so it was an unsolved case when they filmed the movie about it, and that it had been gone for like 30 years or something like that. Like the movie was made like 30 years after the killings actually took place, and it's a long movie. I remember it being like 2 hours, but oh man. When you first start watching it, I was like, "Man, this is kind of goofy." Like, I don't know, because I didn't really look up anything about it before I started. I try to go in completely blind, and it was sort of goofy at the start. I was like, "Is this going to be any good?" And then as it goes on, it really hooks you, and it's like, "Wow!" It's sort of like Whiplash. Historical horror. It's not really horror. It's more of a thriller. You know, if that makes sense. It is like a detective story. I think the victims are real people, but I think the detectives are fictional characters that they added in to tell a better story. I think. Anyway, it's worth watching. Why are we talking about Korean detective horror? Detective movies. Let's watch this. Oakburn Opus Chapter 3. Is there anything towards the midnight sun? I am riding home. Agatha? That's funny. So friends of mine always said thrillers are horror films and get nominated for awards. There is a crossover. There is definitely a crossover. Well, like Gone Girl. Like, that's supposed to be a thriller, but it's like, well, you know, is there much difference? There is a bit. There is a bit of difference. You can sort of, you can get the vibe, right? You can get it. But you're right, thrillers are generally nominated for awards and horrors just aren't, ever. Like, ever. It was under the water. Someone was singing under the water. The land remains still, accursed by a tragic silence for over 5 years. Man, the visuals look so good. Old Oakburn, a village hidden between barren mountains and white woods. In its heart, the depths of the lake. A single road connects the village to its neighbouring town, Itosavik. After 5 years of neglect and decrepitude, it has become treacherous, overgrown with weeds and twigs, the path barely visible amidst the snow. I just want to point out for a second. Look at this text. I don't know if it's coming through on the stream. Hang on, let me zoom right in for a second. This is important to see. Look at this. Look at the aliasing. Look at the aliasing on the text. The text is crunchy. Do you know how insane of a decision this is? To remove the aliasing on the text and make it crunchy? Nobody ever does that. Nobody ever does that. and it looks awesome. See, this is a thing when you can tell someone has good taste, and they make strange decisions like this that don't make any sense. Like, why would you do that? But it looks great. It looks good. This is why you got to watch a whole bunch of different things to get an idea of what's the crazy things we can actually do here, you know? Because they want it more in like VHS style. No, that's the thing. You wouldn't do that. That wouldn't show up on a VHS like that. Like this whole thing here isn't VHS style. The old things were. This one isn't. If you want to do it VHS style, you would have it blurrier. You'd have that chromatic aberration effect on there. So it would be blurrier than this. This is a straight up weird digital style. It's insane. I don't know why you would choose this, but it works. The whole thing is very digital. And so if, again, it might be hard to see, but there's damage effects here, and it's digital damage, and it's intentional because they did it in the last one too, but it's different this time. It's very crunchy, very small, almost single pixel damage effects. This whole look is completely intentional. It's very interesting, and I think the reason that they did it is to make it clear that it's set in the future compared to what happened in the previous ones. Because this is much more digital style. Digital styles. Hey, look, nothing. Hey, this is fun. Hey, look, pie graphs. Digital styles. Digital dancing. Hey, this is fun. Man, I really enjoyed Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Anyway, my cat keeps sniffing you. Nya. Nya, 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 nya. We like cats here. We're cat stands. I'm here now. I'm home. Today in those dark depths I must venture, and behold my secret, the very root of my curse. And it's also removed the border that I had around there too. These waters go much deeper. And the text is off-center. This is a specific decision they made. The text is off-center, so it should be like... The go should be like here. And then that should be like over there. And there's so many little decisions in this to upset you and make it visually different. And like there's super subtle things. And this is what I'm talking about, taste, right? The taste is a decision to do this, to make this text crunchy, to change the visual style, to move the text over instead of being right in the center. These are specific decisions that it's hard to build up the taste in order to make those decisions correctly. It's weird. It's offset. It's all off kilter on purpose to make you uncomfortable, I think. Red Diamond presents, and then it's like specifically juxtaposed with this, which is like very classic, like 30s, 40s style font, you know. Places a rearview mirror in the middle with the text. Yeah, it's weird. This is like 3D models. Awesome. Speaking of Silent Hill, right? Oakburn Opus 3. That's awesome. That's so good. What a logo. I love it. And that's crunchy too. Let's get my friend to watch it. Hello, Bog Boy's friend. Hey. Alright. Hello, Bog Boy's friend. (2002). The investigation begins. Martha Astor returns to Itusavik. Martha's Audio Journal, recovered 2010, Side A. Recovered? For now, all the evidence collected from the 1997 phenomenon is abstract, frantic, ambiguous, and reveals the arcane nature of the case. Manuscript findings, diaries, newspaper entries, and the cassette tape depicting the magnum opus. In some of these samples, one notices a strange constant. I believe I found a promising clue, a line of investigation that will lead me to the truth. Oh. Or perhaps condemn me to the most horrible perversity. A monolith raised in the woods that surround the lake. On its surface is etched the oft-mentioned sigil, the sigil of Marv Pias. Crumbly, covered in moss and stained with moisture, the stone, however, reveals a more intriguing nature when analysed in depth. I found it possible to deduce the monolith's true purpose. A tombstone. Interesting. Is that where Marv Pias is buried? Before the monolith, we are likely to find the entrance of the tomb. I'll be conducting a solo expedition. I here now ask the department to allow the investigation to be conducted by me and me alone. My roots are here. Our marks share the same curse. His sepulchral depths are mine to explore. For those who may inadvertently stumble upon these discoveries, stay away. Here, there are destinies greater than death. Girls talking all epic. What's going on there? Oh, what a shot. Give this guy a fucking $1 million budget. Give him a budget. Give him a budget. Oh, it's so good. The visuals are so good. And this is like one dude with Blender and an edit and a video editing program. And like Photoshop. That's it. Fucking hell. This is ridiculous. There are people who have like budgets of millions of dollars making movie that don't have the directorial taste that this guy does, that Red Diamond does. And Red Diamond's like, he's still like a teenager. Like 19. This fucking dude is 19. I can't, I'm just... Ugh. God. The Endless. What's the Endless, actually? Man, I'm just... Oh. Fucking hell, The Endless. I'll write that down for later. Like, it's just... You should watch the horror series made completely in CapCut. What's that one? Do you remember the name of that one? Wouldn't mind checking it out. Like, this is just, it's just ridiculous. Like, you know, when you... Kids learn stuff fast. And so a lot of these top creators, they've been like looking at... They've been doing like maybe video editing or drawing horror stuff in their notebooks since they were like 13 years old, right? And so they pick up stuff really quick. And then... when they're actually given these real tools and have a bit of time to mess around with it. And they usually do have the time because they're kids and they don't have jobs and whatnot and responsibilities or less responsibilities. And so sometimes that's why you've got some, and they're tapped into not only on social media, obviously tapped into it, but they've also got the psychological underpinnings to understand what young people find scary, you know, because they're raised in the same thing, and horror is just turning a mirror back on culture, right? Horror is just turning a mirror back on culture, and they're steeped in the culture. And you put all these things together, and then all of a sudden you've got this almost the entire, not the entire genre, but many of the significant creators in analog and digital horror are really young. Like 19 years old doing something like this is insane. You've got people who are like 40-year-old directors that can't do stuff like this. It's crazy. Product. Oh, I have product on my list because apparently that's really, really gross and terrifying. So I really want to check that one out at some point. Maybe next week we'll see. Makes sense. Each generation has different tropes and archetypes that they look for. Well, so horror is what culture is scared of now. Tends to be what horror is about. So, you've got all this. You had this whole trend of imposter horror. So you've got like the Mandela catalog. You've got all those games that are. You've got like No, I'm Not a Human. It's a similar thing. But you had all those games that are like you don't let the imposters in. Like actual like horror ones, like Among Us, but horror, right? And all of that was throughout. There's a political angle of it where people, because we're so politicized and people are like, your neighbor, your family members could be against you. They could hate you. They could want you dead, and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't be able to tell. And then there was also the pandemic where it was like, well, your loved ones could kill you. And it might not be their fault. They're infected by something and they could kill you and they wouldn't even know it. Obviously, that turned out to be a lot less true than they said it was, and obviously same with the politics, but let's not get into that. But the point is, people were getting scared of each other, scared of the people around them, like their loved ones. They were getting scared of them and retreating online, retreating away from that. And so you had a lot of horror that was based off of that, And this one, well, we'll have to see what the full series is about, but so, it's sort of hard to analyze the themes of a series when you haven't even finished watching it yet, right? Not trusting has been around for a while in horror, like with The Thing. It's interesting to think about. Oh, yeah. So, like, it's definitely not, like, they didn't invent this and, like, this, it's never happened before, right? It's the reason why they like Lovecraft, because that was similar. There's the Lovecraft popped back up because people were once again scared of these vast machinations that have nothing, that don't actually give a shit about you, and you're just crushed under their boot, right? And if you can even influence them at all, it's just down to luck, mostly. And even if you do, you'll probably be scarred in the process, permanently scarred for the rest of your life in the process. And that was his fears. That was a popular fear back then, and then it popped back up again. The Yellow King is sort of popping back up again. This is sort of similar vibes to that. The Yellow King, Los Carcosa. Could this be the Yellow King? Probably not. There hasn't been any yellow in it. It could be inspired by it. Using art to manipulate the minds of people around you. Being afraid of propaganda. That's a common fear right now. Everybody thinks that there's pipelines into becoming an extremist of any sort of sort, So it's natural to be afraid of that. That's something that pops up a lot. Whether it's actually true kind of doesn't matter, or what it's actually used for kind of doesn't matter, but it's what people are afraid of, what they think is true, rather than what is true. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit you guys. Yellow King is great. Signalis pulls reference from Signalis. So I was planning a Yellow King video, and I have a lot of planning. Maybe I'll go back and do that at some point. I should. It's half done. Yeah, so Signalis does a lot of that. There's actually a lot of references to it in Fear and Hunger too, but Fear and Hunger references so many things. It's definitely not a main reference, but it's a big one. So, Paw Patrol is cop propaganda. It's funny. Look, honestly, I don't know anything about Paw Patrol. I've only seen like a couple of memes about it. It's like some dog show where they're cops or something, right? An emergency services, something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if there was, you know, funding from like some official police organization to do that. Like, it wouldn't be the first time. Like you had NASA funding movies at one point to promote people to join NASA and give them a good rep, you know. And it worked. It worked. People love NASA. Well, they did. Now it's sort of fallen out a bit of favor, but among some people, that is. But you know, it wouldn't surprise me, you know. And like whenever you got a movie where they randomly go overseas for some reason. Adam Sandler movies are shocking for this, where the whole movie is set in like a resort or something, and it's like, well, because the resort paid them a fat stack to go there and advertise it. The movie is just advertising for it. Anytime they randomly go overseas in a movie or a TV show, I just assume that the tourism board for that area paid them to do that. So, friend is saying U.S. military was funding video games. Yeah, that's right. Yes, I do recall that. They explicitly have their own video games, but I think they I don't know if it was ever directly confirmed that they were funding specific games, but I think it was... I don't know, I'd need to do a bit of research into that. I know they did have their own training simulator that I think they released that publicly. You can play it. Well, anyway. What am I doing? Let's keep watching. Yeah, 17-year-old. Crazy. Just crazy. Give this guy a fucking budget already. Please. Hollywood, do something right in your life. Does Skinamarink. Okay, I didn't like Skinamarink, but I think it was fantastic that they took that chance and they gave some YouTube horror dude, they gave him a real budget. Fantastic. More of that, please. Give Red Diamond a budget. Please, somebody. For the love of God. A24, what are you doing? Please, A24. You're supposed to be like the hip cool guys. Why aren't you giving Red Diamond a budget? Do something right. Stop funding shit like Nope and this. I hated Nope. You had like 2 good scenes. In order to show real life military weapons and technology, you need to have permission from the government. As a result, many games like... sorry, I had to pause that for a second. Many games like Call of Duty and such are funded and partially advised by the government. Oh, okay. That's very interesting. Very interesting. And it makes sense, doesn't it? And it would probably be good for them to actually get a military advisor in there so it make it more authentic. Interesting. Okay. There is a grave. It's just hanging out there. It's the hatch in the ground, not even a grave. Not even a grave. Segment 1. Necropolis. That is what Spec Ops was trying to address, the military propaganda in shooters at the time and today. I've always heard that Spec Ops was pretty good for that. Upon prying open the tomb's entrance, it was revealed a vertical descent of absolute darkness, a pit that reached into the depths of the earth. And from said pit, a horrible smell, a putrid, rotten miasma. Despite the unbearable this is going too fast. A rotten miasma rushed to the surface. Despite the unbearable exhalation, I pressed forth and began the descent. There's a lot of people whose English isn't their first language in horror as well, which is pretty interesting. I'm assuming it isn't. This is a really odd way of phrasing things. Cool. If you had an idea for a story, a cool horror story, you could like spend a few weeks fucking around in Blender and get something like this going. I should do that. Black moss covered the walls, forever damp. The smell of fish carcasses, putrid scales. I'm more interested in video games, though. Video game horror. Disappearing into the ossuary, a gentle walk to cursed ruins. And video games require a lot more work than just an animation to meet what roamed the ancient grounds. Maybe there's just to do like a fake video game first. Our sigils burned in proximity. The pungent abyss of the mortuary dragged me to secrets long forgotten, disrupt knowledge better left unseen. A terrible familiarity, repressed memories of times of wrath, afflicted me in short flashes. This terrible burden, this obsession, being dragged to things occult. Ethan, was this how you felt? Who is Ethan? Oh, what the hell? Is that a dude? Behold my necropolis. Whoa, fucking shoot him. Oh man, that's gross. Reminds me of Channel 666. There's no way this wasn't inspired by Channel 666. That's so good. Channel 666, one of the goats. Truly one of the best YouTube videos in existence. So what do the triangles mean, I wonder? Is it like pointing downwards? Is it like waves or something? That's loud. Evidence 4. The Book of Marpius 2. The second book of Marpius? Or is it Marpius the second? Weird sacred geometry or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. There you go, there's your sacred geometry. And then snakes. Did they... Oh, what is this? Sorry, I just got kind of flashbang there for a second. Whoa, this is awesome. Grudge hands. Long after the wrathful times, when the serpent's tongue no longer hissed, the drowned artist, Marpius, arises. He's an artist, there you go. That's very rotoscoped. Oh no, look, he's got an actual artist there. Risen from the pungent water, carrying the darkness of those eldritch depths. Tenebrae Aeternae. The visuals are so good. Kind of reminds me of Mandy. Mandy, what a great movie, one of my favourites. A burning ember boils within the dark fire. Malagini, servant to a serpent viper's sin. Dies Irae, a trade, a price was paid. His kin spared from the gloom of the lake, and now his flesh in torment laid. Rise, a call from beyond the veil, roaming the last ring, face the fire, Peccatum Toon, his wail. Is a down arrow an alchemy symbol for fire? No, fire's not down, water is down. Yeah, water is the down arrow. If it has a line through it, it's earth. If the up arrow has a line through it, it's air. You can think of them as the ones that want to be upwards. Fire is the father, air is the son, or the king and the prince, rather. You can think of them as, and they want to be free. They want to fly free. They have vigor. Water is the queen, and earth is the princess, and they want to settle. They want to go down. So the arrows point down. Marpius descended the mountain's height, forever white and glamorous, seeking the lade at the light. Oh, here's the Pied Piper! The city of snow, where once two miracles were born from divine glow. This is really frustrating because I was working on a project that involved a lot of these themes, including, quite literally, the Pied Piper. The people of the city at the florid orange sunrise were to soon regret their pity. That's loud, hang on. For the wind hid fangs and the maw of the drowned city opened under his arcane chants. To swallow the accursed soil, roar the fire from the 9 circles, let the water boil. Oh, 9 circles of hell, I guess? Lots of H.P. Lovecraft. You will drown them, add Tenebris in the drowned city. The gloom of the lake, the forever breathing necropolis. How many circles of hell are there? Reunion. 9, oh there you go. 9 circles, 9 triangles. Interesting. Look at him stanced up there. Just letting it all hang out. Dude, you gotta close your robes. Martha. Is her name written in the book? Will you behold me? Turn to me. Thou shalt hear the serpent utter through thy brother's mouth. Creepy. What is that? I don't like it, whatever it is. What's a scaled hand? Oh, fucking hell, what is that? Oh, they really earned that jump scare. Oh, is he like a fish? He is, he's like a fish man. Fucking damn it. I'm working on something else that has like a fish. Oh, god damn it. That's so annoying. Why is this hitting every theme I've been working on lately? That's so frustrating. And here you are, entrapped within my shadow. Fear not, contain your shivers, for there are horrors beyond my rot. Shadow over Innsmouth, yeah! Our bane, our sigils. Our blood and roots are shed. Yes, it's very Shadow over Innsmouth, isn't it? An eternal bond. Shall us recall those times? Or have you grown to abhor our very nature? Well, no, what did that say? Your very nature. Our very nature. Yeah, it's Shadow over Innsmouth, like Earth itself. Those wrathful days as I hold your lifeless corpse. When in that lake I communed with beings far beyond. I contested death itself, and welcomed a vile force to bathe this land in blasphemy. Damned me to those depths, to choke for aeons. A fragmented form, rotten, I reside within. Cool. What did that say? Hang on, I want to see what that said. Thou shalt... Oh, hear the serpent to utter from thy brother's mouth. Okay. Yeah, you said that before. And my dead throat shall cast upon this earth the fires of 9 circles. To the land that plunged me into the darkest pits, to blazing marble. To the drowned city so below. And those who skin the lungs of mine will scream into the void, for aeons far beyond. The name of that beast, the beast that sung. Marv Piaz. Cool. She's cute. What the hell? Sorry. She's cute. Martha Astor. Martha Ludolf, 1852. Matthias Ludolf, 1852, 1897. Oakburn, 1897. What does Dies Array mean again? Hang on, that means something, right? Dies Array. Oh, it's a poem, meaning Day of Wrath. Okay, Martha Astor. Is she like reincarnated? Martha Astor's findings were recovered in mid-2010 and remain classified in 2024. Material shows a direct connection between the detective and old Oakburn's flutist. What do you mean? While also creating doubt on Astor's true identity. family. Maybe. Yeah, so like a whole bunch of these assets are just like asset store stuff. It's okay to use that. Immortality, reincarnation, immortality maybe, yeah. Search for old Oakburn's population continues. Interesting, interesting. Okay. What's left? What do we have left? Let's go here. Okay, so we've watched... Let's watch a trailer. Let's watch a trailer next. Do we need to watch it? Oh. Stop. Then we've got Oakburn Opus Lies. It goes for 30 minutes. Golly. Friend says lake sacrifice. She could be a lake sacrifice. Then how did she come back though? So we've got that. Then we've got VHS Towers, which apparently is related. Is related to Oakburn Opus. Let's watch this trailer. They'll hear his name and run. I have a feeling a bunch of this music is going to be like copyright claimed. As punishment for his hubris, Apollo had Marsyas tied to a tree near Lake Holocrene, which Strabo noted was full of the reeds from which the pipes were fashioned. Marsyas was flayed alive, good lord. The rustic gods then transformed into a stream. Okay, is that true? Well, not true, but like... yes. Yeah, he's a satyr from Greek mythology. There you go. Yeah, okay, cool. And he was expert player of the double reed pipe, known as the Olos. Then he got flayed because he challenged the gods to a music contest, challenged Apollo, which is not something you should do. I don't think we need to watch this anymore. I think we get it. Cool. Okay. So that's Lies, it's part 4. And then... No, that's part 4. So Lies is like a... intermission? Skin flute. 5 is the finale. Okay, interesting. Patreon page now available. Let's see what is happening on Patreon. That's not enough. Marpius concept art for Lies. Ludolf banner. Ash's diary scene. Oakburn Opus. Call of the Wind. What does it mean? What happens now? I want to know. Curious. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of these series don't get the attention they deserve. Like, this is awesome. And it's like you've got Nexpo, like basically one of the biggest horror creators that covers this stuff, covering him, getting them like the most amount of eyes you can possibly get on it, right? And it's like people just don't tap in, and it's just the way it goes, I guess, you know? Which is a shame, but it is what it is, you know? Well, it's fantastic though. Oh, you know what? We might wrap up actually, because I'm running a bit out of steam. We might watch next week we'll watch Oakburn Opus Lies, and then we'll watch VHS Tales, because I have heard that VHS Tales is related somehow. I don't know exactly how though. So we'll see. It does, like, just straight up, it just deserves more views. Like 13K, like this, you've basically got to be doing it as like a way to advertise yourself to like a portfolio piece, you know? That's what Valverde was. The creator of Valverde made Valverde to help advertise their skills. Alluvium. Cool guy, by the way. He made it to advertise his skills of like what he can do, like, you know, art and whatnot. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him for a while. I don't know if he ended up getting a job from it, but it couldn't hurt. You know, it's a bit of a shame that they don't get as many views as they deserve, but it is what it is, right? Well, when you think about it, like, a lot of movies, did they just drop them on YouTube? Or did anybody care? Probably not. I think that's just how it is. It's really hard to attract people's attention. It's so, as a creator, it's so hard to make anybody care. It is really, really hard, you know? It's so hard to go from 0 to 1, and then it's almost as hard to go from 1 to 100. You know? Getting even this much is hard. You know, 30k views, that's not anything to sneeze over, you know. 30k, 60k, 30k, 40k, like that's a lot of views. In the grand scheme of things, that's better than like 99% of people that ever upload a YouTube video, ever. But, you know, it does, and, you know, I'll sit here and say it deserves, each episode deserves 1 million views, and I think it does, but it's hard. It's bloody hard. Telling your own stories on YouTube is very difficult. People, and I don't know why this is exactly, I'm the same. People don't like unique stories like that very much. It's very, very difficult to attract attention with it. And cases like Mandela Catalog are the exception. Definitely the exception. It's just how it is. And when you look at it, like, frankly, I think something like Oakburn Opus is, so far, I enjoyed that more than I did Mandela. I think it's better than Mandela. I actually didn't like Mandela. Obviously, you had to look at it from a historical perspective. What the scene was like where Mandela started, and in that perspective, like, the first episodes are pretty good. But as it's gone on, I think it's gotten worse, and it's lost that edge. And the remakes of the first episodes weren't very good, I thought, which is kind of funny. But, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, being a creator is it's trickier. It takes a while. Part of that is a lot of that is developing your taste and figuring out what people want to see. People say just do what you want and you'll get views. It's not true at all. It's really not. But anyway, let's wrap up here. Thank you for watching the first half, I guess, of Oakburn Opus today. The link to that will be in the description if you'd like to see it. You've been watching Mythonics Live, hosted by More They Duke, and remember, you're never alone in the dark. Okay, that was a YouTube video done. You know what? We'll just wrap up here. Sorry guys, I'm just sort of crashing a bit. I had my first good night's sleep for like a week last night, so it's drained me of energy, ironically enough. But yes, we'll finish off Oakburn next week. I'm pretty keen to do that actually. But for now, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. No, tomorrow. We've got video games on tomorrow. I have a third video game added to the list as well, so we're going to be doing that. But yes, thank you guys very much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I love hanging out with you guys. I hope you had fun while we watched Oakburn Opus. Yeah, you've been watching Mythonics Live, hosted by More They Duke, and this song is like not creepy at all. This'll do. You've been watching Mythonics Live, hosted by More They Duke, and remember, you're never alone in the dark.